On Wednesdays, we were pink. Hello everybody, my name is Sol, and so the Tony Awards are coming soon, and so I wanted to do a little review, well not so little, of the Mean Girls Broadway musical. So I saw the musical a week ago, exactly last Wednesday, and so I wanted to pretty much talk about it. Sit down and enjoy, it's gonna be fetch. So first things first, I'm not a fan of the film. Okay, don't take it in a bad way, it's not like I hate it or anything, but I've only seen it like twice in my life, and last time I saw it was probably like 8 years ago or something like that. So again, when I went to the show, I didn't expect it much to compare it with the movie, although I will a little bit. So yeah, just a warning, there's a lot of spoilers in this. Again, this is a very like in-depth review, and so I'm gonna go with spoiler stuff, very specific scenes and moments. So yeah. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is the acting. So I'm an actress myself, so that's something I'm super, whoa. When I see a play or a musical, that's one of the first things I notice the most. Like, some people might not notice that much, but people who actually are passionate about acting, we see those details. So I want to talk about first about the plastics. The plastic Regina, Karen, no, what's it? Karen, yeah, and Gretchen. So I feel like not just them, but every character in this show, it's so, I don't know if completely different, but it's very distinctive from the one from the movie. So it's not a copy paste from the movie. I think many, if not most of them, are way more, you have more of a story to them, they have more personality, there's more to them. But I also like, for example, the girl who plays Gretchen. It's super different from the movie. It's just, you can really see her insecurities to like a whole new level, and you get to know her more. Katie, I think she's like way more quirky here and more funny, which I absolutely love. I think it was like, they just feel like they picked these characters or like made them their own, and I think that's really cool because, you know, it's very tempting to copy what it's already there, but no, you know, this is a whole different thing. This is not a movie, this is a musical. Same thing with Regina. I don't know if it's 100% right, but I'm pretty sure the girl who plays Regina, Taylor Lauderman, she has never seen the film. So it's super cool because that way for her was, I think, easier because you can just create it from zero. It's not like, okay, I'll take some things from her, but create some new, like from her, for her, it was like everything brand new. If you know, Janice is played by Barrett Wilbur, sorry, terrible names, but she's really famous. She plays Heather's, Veronica. What I felt with Janice, unfortunately, was like, although she has an amazing song towards the end, I feel like in the end, they could have done more with her. Like, she has some great quotes that I'll mention later, but I feel like they gave way more attention and focus to Damien. And that was something that was a bit disappointing because I think Janice is such a cool character, and don't get me wrong, together with Damien they're hilarious, but I just wish she had a little more. For example, there's this one moment where we pretty much find out why she stopped being friends with Regina, and Damien is telling the story rather than her. So I wish it would have been more, you know, emotional if she was the one telling the story. Everyone did amazing. Like, I think all the Tommy nominees for them are completely like nailed it because they're all so amazing. We could get nominees for all of them. Also, like the guy playing Aaron, I think he's really cool too. Even the people in like the small roles that you would call small roles, like they were just hilarious. They were very entertaining. There was no one that I was like, oh, that was kind of weak. No, everyone was like, they put their 100%, and I thought that was really cool. Okay, so next thing is the music, which is kind of a big deal for a musical. So when I was seeing all the trailers and everything, I was kind of like getting this kind of Legally Blonde musical vibes. Not because of the music, but first of all, I thought the music style would fit perfectly with this kind of musical. This one though, it kind of disappointed me with the music. It's such a shame because this show is so good. It has so much to love, but unfortunately the music can be something, at some points can be awesome, but in general was just kind of meh, and some points are just very low for me. I mean, I bet there's people out there who love the soundtrack, and that's completely fine, but me personally, I just felt like the soundtrack was kind of weak. At some points it even felt like this grown adult person was trying to be like cool, and like, for example, there's the song that I liked the least was Whose House Is This? And pretty much is when Katie throws a party at her house, and it's just all the teens kind of singing, whose house is this? Whatever. And I just thought that song was like not something that you would kind of hear in a teen party. And if they didn't want to go with that route, which is completely fine, but overall the song just came up to me as annoying and just very bland. And I wish I could have come up with something very smart, very creative. Like again, if I criticize something, at least I want to bring something new. I don't want to be like that. People was like, no, I don't like this, but it's like, do you have something better to offer? I think for this it would have been cool to kind of see each kid kind of bring in something, I don't know how to explain it with words, but just more smart, let's just say. Just for me, this one was just noise, and it would have been cool to use maybe more of a choreography in this one, like everyone kind of like circling her around and just showing the chaos around her. I don't know, there's just that number was really annoyed me and that's such a pity though. But that's not all bad stuff. I'm gonna talk about well, other songs that I do not love are Fearless. Usually the end of Act 1, you should finish with this boom like song that is like at the end you're like, oh my gosh, that was amazing. You know, like great examples are Let It Go from the Frozen musical, or One Day More from Les Mis, etc. You probably know thousands for this, but or Hakuna Matata from The Lion King. But with this one, I was just left like, what? It just felt kind of cheesy, and I'm like, I'm all about cheesy movies, cheesy stuff, I'm all about that, don't get me wrong. But it just didn't fit, or it just didn't feel like it was well done. Let's just go with that. And how could I have made it better? There's something about the actual music in it, and so I don't know exactly whose fault it was, if it was the music or the lyrics. There was just something there that just felt very weak, and it's supposed to be this moment of empowerment, and I just didn't feel it. And the thing about this song, I love that Regina George had this kind of James Bond kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, in the background music of those spy movies that you hear this kind of music, and her voice was very like sexy and everything. Like it was really cool that she had her own style to whenever she was singing. She didn't sound like anyone else, and I love that. But in most of the songs that she sang, they sound the same. And with song When Someone Gets Hurt, I think it's just not that memorable. It's a really amazing concept because she's manipulating the guy so that like he thinks it's his fault even though he was hurt, and she turns the table around. It's such a creative concept, but I don't know if it was the way it was done on stage that the choreography was like always the same. It just, I think her songs were just a bit always kind of the same note, and I was like, and it's a pity because oh my gosh, this girl has one of the most amazing vocals I have ever heard. And you probably can't like, I feel like when you hear the soundtrack you can't appreciate as much as when you were there. You're like, how is it possible she's hitting that note? It's absolutely amazing. She's a powerhouse, amazing. So it's kind of like a pity that although the songs are good, I feel like they're not its true potential. I feel like they're just kind of, all her songs kind of sound the same. And the most like epic song, which is like World Burn, it just felt kind of, you know, it had some epic moments, but it just takes time for you to just get there, if you know what I mean. But the whole like moment on stage was really nice. It kind of reminded me of Hamilton when they throw the papers. Really fun. I really like that song overall, but it's just, I would like her to, just the songs that she sings to be more wow. Another one that I did not like is Do This Thing. I liked what is happening on stage a lot. Sorry, I was looking at the screen. I like a lot what is happening on stage. The limit does not exist, and her interaction with the other girl is super funny, but the song just sounds a bit average. It's not like very memorable. It just feels like it could have been more smart, it would have been, for example, now we're gonna go with the good songs. I love Stupid with Love. It is also super cheesy, but I love the instrumentals in that one, because it has like many reprises. So whenever it was coming, I was kind of like already like moving on my seat. It's really funny. The lyrics are really smart and cute. I love how they take the quotes from, for example, October 3rd there and make it kind of part of the song. Super smart. Love that song, and you can see this connection between them with Katie and the guy. Other songs I really like is Sexy. It's a very funny song. Karen absolutely kills it on this one. The idea of the costumes, really funny. The beginning, people were like laughing hysterically. He walks out and then walks back in. People were like dying. It's hilarious. And the Gretchen song, What's Wrong With Me? Again, this, I love that each plastic got a song, which is so great. Gretchen, you can see a lot of her insecurities in this song, and it just comes to like, you think, oh, this is just a sad song, but it comes back multiple times and it just gets funnier and funnier. She just thinks it's in the middle of nowhere, and I absolutely love it. And I thought you can really see Ashley's voice. It's beautiful as well. Like, everyone has a beautiful voice in this cast for sure. As other song, I love Apex Predator. I remember first listening to this song, I was like, oh, I don't know how I feel about that, because some of the lyrics are weird, but then it's such a cool song, and the choreography in it is amazing. Just whenever she's there and like feeding everyone, that's something about a lot of this show. Sorry, this review's all over the place. There's a lot of like animals, like for example, Gretchen is always like a bird because she's always like so scared and like nervous and stuff, and it's just, I love that use of animals that connects, you know, Katie's life with her situation right now. So it's like Regina's like this lion and everyone bows to her, she's like feeding them. I love it, and it's super creative, and the mall is just wonderful and really, really cool creative. And my favorite moment in that song is when you see the very last moment, you see Karen and Gretchen kind of like turn around and then pose at the end, like the playbill, so it's super, super cool. Also, talking about the song, I think one of the best things is like the doo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo. Whenever something dramatic happens or the plastics are about to come in or something like that, you just hear doo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo. And that was really good. I love when a musical, you have this, you know, with Phantom of the Opera, you heard dun, 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 dun. You're like, oh, Phantom of the Opera is happening. And I feel like with Mean Girls, they really got this anthem, this theme going on throughout, and I thought it was really cool and very iconic. I really like that. It was very iconic. I really like Cautionary Tale because the show started in such a different way than I expected. I thought it was gonna be Damien and Janice maybe exploring or whatever, and then they start telling you the story, but it's like in a school assembly, and that was so cool to me. I was like, oh, okay, I did not expect this, so this is happening. Awesome. So that was really, really cool. Now the song by itself, I don't think it's epic or amazing, but I like the layout and the idea of it. Now we have the Broadway kind of songs with Damien, or Where Do You Belong and stuff. I think the lyrics are really fun and creative. It's just the scene completely is not great choreography, I would say. It's good, but it's not like a showstopper. But I think there's this one line Karen has and stuff that is like people were like applauding. It was like, yeah, like they were loving it, and so did I. It was really, really cool. So I feel like every show right now is having kind of like a throwback Broadway song. Like SpongeBob has the I'm Not a Loser song that is like very Broadway-esque, and now this one has to Stop and Where Do You Belong. And that's, again, I wish Janice could have sang more, but I mean, I understand she's not Broadway. But yeah, I just wish Janice was more in these songs, but they were really funny and yeah, enjoyable. It's like Meet the Plastics. Throughout this show, I love that each person has its own kind of sound to it. So Regina has this very like James Bond, sexy kind of like vibe song to it. But then you have Karen that sounds like pretty much like a Disney princess. And then you have Gretchen that's like all nervous and like non-stop talking, and even the music sounds different to her. So it's super cool. The difference is, I would say, Gretchen's changes, like Meet the Plastics, her like little music and style is different from What's Wrong With Me. So what I like with Regina is like gonna stick with the same thing. Revenge Party, I like what's happening during the show, and there's this costume change that is amazing, and I'm like, how did that happen? But I would say that like I like that Janice gets like a bit more time, so that's really cool. But I think overall this song is not like that great. But my two favorites, I would think, well, Apex Predator, whatever. But the other two songs I really like is I'd Rather Be Me. What a song. I think towards the end is when the other girls start singing with Janice, kind of annoys me because I'm like, no, I just want to hear her. Because at one point, like, her voice gets quieter and you can hear the other girls. I'm like, no, let's stick with Barrett. But it's such a cool, empowering moment. I think it's awesome. Really good song, super, super catchy. And I See Stars, it's a really cute, the last song, and it makes sense to what she's doing. It just kind of, for me, this is not an insult, but it kind of felt Disney Channel kind of song, like the last, not High School Musical, but like more of the recent kind of Disney Channel. I like the song, don't get me wrong, but it just felt a bit more preteen-ish for some reason. We're like, happy ending, yeah, yeah. But I did like the song. More is better. I like that song, but, and I especially like when he's leaving, what he says to her. It's kind of like a bam, okay, you just destroyed her like that. I thought it was great. More is better. It's also a good song that I enjoy, not one of my favorites, but still good. Again, it's not that the album was bad or it was a horrible, I can't hear it thing. No, there's some great songs, but overall, it needed to take more risks. And some lyrics just did not make sense. Like, okay, so here's probably something that a lot of people are looking for, are the quotes. How different is this from the movie? And again, I cannot remember 100% if it's just like, I don't remember the movie 100%, so if I get some of this stuff wrong, you're like, oh, that's actually in the movie, I'm so sorry, let me know, actually. There's some things that are not here that were in the movie, and I was completely fine with it. I was like, makes sense. But something, because they added new jokes and they're super hilarious, so I appreciated that. It's not like you're left with nothing. You're actually given really good jokes. But there were some quotes that I really wish they were there, if you know what I mean. Not all of them, but some of them. For example, Karen is very iconic for her whole like weather thing with the boobs, and at one point she kind of makes like a boob sort of like joke thing, and I wish she kind of just turned around and be like, oh, actually I have ESP, whatever. Even something subtle. It couldn't be like a whole thing in the movie, but in the show, sorry. But I thought it was always super funny and random that she had that, but maybe just because I feel like in the end Karen just didn't have that much. I feel like Gretchen and Regina had a lot of development, but Karen was strange and was really fun and interesting, but she was kind of pushed back a little bit with the quotes and the funny moments. I would say she has a big moment in Sexy, but I wish she had more of those funny moments like in the movie. And speaking of her, the whole quote, I was waiting for it because I think it's my favorite quote, is Katie, if you're from Africa, why are you white? And I thought this is like one of my favorite quotes because this has happened to me, that like, I'm from Argentina, if you can tell by my accent by now. And there was this one girl in school that once told me, it's like, oh, where are you from? And I'm like, oh, I'm from Argentina. She's like, oh, is that in Africa? And I was like, no, it's in South America. And those kind of questions come to me all the time. So I thought it was always kind of like a relatable sort of thing. And I wish they had kept that. That was like one that I was like, really? Aw. And then another one is like, you know, the whole coach that is teaching is like, don't have sex because then you'll die and this and that. And I think I'm so mad they got rid of that one because they have a scene with that professor, but then they just cut it. It's really fast. I'm like, why having him if you're not gonna give the very famous quote? Because there's so many like health teachers, like especially in Texas, it's like, they're like, oh, just abstinence, don't have sex. And it was very like realistic to what things are like in most high schools. They're like, just don't do it. So that was like kind of a pity that like they didn't have that quote. I was like, oh, really? Also, the Jingle Bell scene is super different from the movie. So in the movie, you see the mom is doing the dance thingy, and I don't remember much after that. I think they mess up, and then they just, Katie starts singing, everyone sings. And I think it would have been cool to have that on stage, to imagine the audience singing Jingle Bell all together. How freaking cool would that be? But unfortunately in here it's just like they're dancing, and then Regina's skirts fall and you can see her butt, and it's like everyone is like, and then they start showing like social media, people like doing memes about her butt and stuff like that, which I'll get to the internet stuff later. But that was such a lost opportunity. The scene lasts probably like a minute or less, and it's like, no, that could have been like to make it so immersive so that the audience can like start singing with them. That would have been so cool. Yeah, that was completely different from the movie, and I thought it was a miss, honestly, because some of the stuff they changed were for the better, but some of the stuff they did change, but it did not make sense for me. Now, going to the whole internet thing, I like that because, you know, the movie came out like, I don't know, 13 years ago, something like that. So the world has changed a lot since then. But I love that they didn't make it all about technology. They didn't make it like 100% technology. You know, they kept it to the roots and stuff like that. But you see like modern day references, like, you know, that dance people do, like, I can't, yeah, that one. And then you have the memes and stuff going on. I also like the guy playing Aaron. I think you can really see more of Katie's and him relationship. Like, I don't remember much of this in the movie, but in this one, like, they get to talk way more, and like you see them bonding more. So that's really cool. But I wish there was a little bit more of him, because then towards the end they kiss and it's like super abrupt. I'm like, I wish there was more of like a conversation, her apologizing to him or something. It's just kind of like, oh, you're smart, okay, cool, let's kiss. Like, I don't know, it just felt a bit rushed. This like movie's not about her story with Aaron, it's her story and her like experiences. But I mean, he was a big part of the show, so yeah. And I did like the show, okay, but I'm just like pinpointing some random things. For example, when the movie ends, you see like a year later, and Janice is dating this guy, and Gretchen is now the leader of this group, and you don't have any of that in this. This is just the ending of the spring fling dance, and everyone just kind of leaves. And I kind of wish they had like, I don't know, maybe when they were bowing, or I don't know, something where maybe in the screens that you could show like a year later or something. Because I always thought it was very interesting to see, like, yeah, maybe they're fine right now, but like, how do they turn out after that, you know? I just wish we could have seen that. I'm not mad about it, but it just kind of like left me wanting more. Okay, something great. I'm talking about references and stuff. There were so many like theater shirts at one point. There was like a Hamilton shirt, a Lion King shirt. I was like, yes. And the mom is really, really cool. She also plays the teacher, so phenomenal. She was really, really funny. Also want to talk about, there's a lot of like, something great about the show is the empowerment. There's a lot of like, I don't know, inspirational stuff that are not in the movie, and that's something that I think this movie is more of like, not throwing each other down. I mean, yes, they throw each other down, but it's like, in the end, you see them, they all kind of like apologize to each other and like become friends, I would say, and instead of like enemies and stuff like that, or just drifting away. And overall, throughout the show, there's just like random quotes, like, I don't know, like Janice or Karen or anyone says that are super like girl power and this and that, and I thought it was so cool. We were like so into it. There's one that Karen says that is like talking about like something about nudes and stuff like that, and she's like, I'm not an object, why don't we teach boys not to do that in the first place, or something like that. So super, super cool. Those things are not in the film, and I really like that. Did you see Karen now? She's a person, she has feelings in the end, and I like that they show a human side of her. Okay, now the costumes and the sets. I love all the costumes. I mean, some of the stuff I was like, would someone in high school wear that? But I mean, I understand it's a theater. You want things that are be shiny and big so the person in the last row can see that. So I was not mad about that. I really like Katie's outfit. I like everyone's outfit. Regina has the best outfits, duh. Something I was quite surprised was that she wore white a lot. Which of course, for me, felt like really ironic, because like white is the color of like, you know, an angel, pure, you know, good, and she's the total opposite. So I think it was on purpose to make it ironic. But towards the end, I was surprised that her like spring fling kind of dress was white, and I feel like it didn't stood up that much. But I'm just being very picky, I'm sorry. But overall, I think all the costumes were really cool. Oh my gosh, how did I not mention this? There's this like one point where they have the Jingle Bells thing, is like they're doing the talent show. And I see these two like machines moving around, and it's like, what's going on? And then you see like these two guys and then become Transformers, and it's like, oh. I just thought it was really funny. There's like a lot of new random little things that I liked. Talking about the guy, the mathlete in the movie, he and Janice kind of like each other, something like that. Here they don't, like I don't think they even talk to each other at any moment. And I think I like that, because many people are like, oh, I wish Janice was like gay or bisexual. And I was like, they never addressed that. Like even when like Regina calls her, she's like, oh, throw me in a pool of girls, that's your dream. She's like, okay. Like she never denies it or accepts it. So it's like, I like that. That was a good change from the movie. It's kind of like open to whatever like your interpretation is, whatever you want her to be. And oh, talking about a quote, the Glen Coco one is great, but the thing is like people are started laughing, so you can hear the Glen Coco, Glen Coco. People are laughing over that. It's like, because it's so close to you go Glen Coco, and the second part goes right after that, but people are like still laughing, so you can't hear it well. But really good use of that one. Fetch is used really well. She doesn't even go here. On Wednesdays we were pink. It's like a song, on Wednesdays we were pink. Oh my god. Oh my gosh, at first like when they show Regina's butt, I was like, she's actually like showing her butt and such, and it's like you realize it's like a fake butt, and it's like even more funny because it just looks kind of ridiculous. But that was, I don't remember that from the movie at all. But yeah. I know I sound very critical, but it's just kind of like my picky little things about this show. I still like it. If I have to rate this show, it's probably like an 8 out of 10. That's like, it left me like smiling, and I laughed a lot throughout the show, like a lot. The humor, Tina Fey, they did a really good job with the book in this. Really funny. But yeah, I 100% recommend this show. If you like Legally Blonde, the musical like me, if you like that kind of genre, like of musical, then I super recommend this. It's super fun. The acting is beyond amazing. Like everyone steals the show, from like the main characters to the smaller ones. They all do a phenomenal job, and you're left with a smile throughout the show. It's just a really good time. The only big complaint I would say is like the songs are not epic, and just some little changes I would have changed. But if you go with your mind and knowing that it's not going to be like the movie, you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. And please write down, have you seen it, have you not? I hope you have seen it by now, because I spoiled a lot in this review. This is such a nice play though. I just want to say I love the colors, really pops out. I feel kind of bad for Katie because she's not in it, but I mean it's called Mean Girls, but she becomes one in the end. But whatever. I want to say real quick, everyone when that signed here was absolutely nice, like really nice. The only two people I didn't get to meet in this was Erica, who plays Katie, and Barrett, who plays Janice. Those were the two I was looking forward to meet the most, but it's fine. Like everyone's like, I don't ask for selfies, I actually ask the people questions, because I don't know, I don't like treating them like objects, you know? I actually want them to like ask about them, and they all like stopped and like answered me, and they were beyond super duper nice. So it's something that I love. Also the blogs are amazing, the Broadway.com blogs. So I feel like I kind of knew them. So 100% recommend. I give it an 8 out of 10. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you very soon. Bye.